For the last 2,555 days, we've been chasing one dream: to race around the world on the hit TV show, The Amazing Race.
We've been obsessed with the show ever since we were little kids. So when we quit our jobs in 2016, we figured it was the perfect time to send in our first audition tape.
But we got rejected. Not once, not twice, but over and over again for 7 years straight.
But right before we were about to throw in the towel, something insane happened.
This is the untold story of our 7-year battle and the 3 unexpected lessons that turned our impossible dream into reality. So Mike, let's jump right in. What is The Amazing Race for people who don't know, and why the hell did we want to be on this show so freaking bad?
The Amazing Race is a reality television show that is on CBS, and it has been airing this is going to be its 37th season. It's been on TV since 2001.
So 24 years.
Yeah, right. You're good at math, Nick.
Oh, yeah, you like that?
Yeah, so it's been on air for a really long time, and it's won a ton of Emmys. And the reason people love it so much is because it combines 2 things that people really love, which are travel and the drama of relationships. That's really what the show is all about.
And challenges.
So to give you the one-liner of what the show really is, it's teams of 2 race around the world for a chance to win $1 million. That's basically the log line of the show in the simplest way that we can put it. But in 2016, we quit our jobs, and we didn't really have much going for us at the time. And I remember you came to me and you were like, yo, I'm following The Amazing Race on Facebook or Instagram or something. You were like, they just made this announcement. They opened up applications. We should send one in.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, let's do it.
It was like one of those intuition things. Like, oh yeah, I feel like this is a sign.
Like, this is our shot. This is our chance. This is our time to actually fulfill this childhood dream. So we scripted this video. We got super creative with it, and then we sent it in, and then it was awesome. We got on the show right away, and it was sick.
Nat.
Literally, we heard absolutely nothing. I don't even think we got an email back saying, like, thank you for submitting your application. It was just radio silence.
Yeah, which, I mean, I'm sure that happens to a ton of people, right? Because it's a very popular show, and thousands of people are applying every single season. So it's not unusual that we didn't hear anything back. Yeah, but that's a good transition to lesson number 1 that we learned along our journey, which is
leave no stone unturned. This actually is stolen from Arnold Schwarzenegger's 6 Rules for Success, a YouTube video that I've watched probably 1 million times out of the total 6 million views or whatever that it has. I'm 1/6 of them. But basically, the concept here is when you say to leave no stone unturned, it means do everything within your control to chase that dream that you have. So we could have very easily submitted the video and only lifted that 1 stone, but we decided no. We are going to do whatever it takes, literally everything within our power to get our video seen by whoever needs to make this decision to get us on that show.
Yeah, so basically the question we asked ourselves was who are the decision makers in this process? And then we basically made like this little Venn diagram, and it's like, okay, there's the casting agents are one element of it. Then there's the creators of the show or the executive producers. And then there's the network, CBS. So then we took those 3 buckets and we're like, okay, who are the most important people that are the decision makers in these fields? And we literally scoured the web to find out who they were. And then we got really creative. We found out, okay, this is the executive in charge of reality TV at CBS. Okay, but we have no idea what his email is. Okay, let's do some research and figure out how CBS formats their email. Oh, okay, they use the first name, then last name, then that. Okay, so now we did that, and now we sent an email to him with our video saying, hey, this is who we are. We really want to be on the race, yada, yada. Then we found the creators of the show. We did some digging, found their emails, sent it to them. Found the casting director and sent it to them on Instagram, on email, everywhere we possibly could. and we literally felt like we left no stone unturned.
Yeah, and then we didn't hear back from any of them. So then we got even more creative and we said, you know what? Let's try to get the people, the public involved. And so we posted it we found a Facebook group that was an Amazing Race like fan group. We posted our application video in that fan group. And now we got like tons of people commenting on our video saying, wow, I would love to see you on the race. I would love to see these guys on the race. Wow, these guys would be an awesome team on the race. And then we screenshotted all of those comments to use as leverage so that we followed up with all those people we reached out to, but now with even more ammo. That still didn't work.
And then
at that point, most people I feel would be like, all right, no, but I think I've tried everything.
But this is the art of the follow-up. The art of the follow-up is so important, right? Like a lot of people will not engage with you if they're extremely busy on that first try. But if they see that you have the initiative to reach out again, to follow up, right? One of my favorite lines is like, I'm pinging this back up your inbox because I know how busy you are to those. So, because the truth
is, want to send you a quick ping.
No, it's just bringing it back up their inbox, making them aware that, I reached out to you.
Yeah.
And we did that with this executive from CBS.
Yeah.
And that was where we had our first victory in this.
Well, no, I think you're missing the context of what you really did.
Okay.
What really grabbed his attention.
Yeah, what was it, Mike?
Was the psychotic and ballsy way in which you actually emailed him, because you didn't email. Well, you emailed him, but it wasn't a written email this time. It wasn't a ping. It was, you literally, I remember it. We should just play the video for people. But basically,
so to give context, I was literally on my way to the gym in the morning, and I'm walking to my car, and I'm like, fuck it, I'm just going to send this dude a video of my face, just telling him how bad we want to be on the show. And in retrospect, I would probably have said some different stuff, but my young, immature self said this.
It was super ballsy.
Peter, what's going on, my man? I'm here with my brother, Mike, my little nephew. We're just following up on our Amazing Race video. If you put us on the show, it'd be the best decision you ever make in your entire career.
Yeah, so you're an absolute savage.
So yeah, I was very immature back then, and I definitely would have not said that knowing what I know now, being a little more mature. But hey, fuck it, it worked, and it got our foot in the door because this guy actually took notice. And I think it was less about what we said and more the fact that we were going above and beyond to get the attention of these people.
And I think also, like, it's a TV show, so us putting our faces on camera and being so comfortable with that was probably also like a light bulb for him, like, oh, these guys are good on camera. And so he ended up forwarding your crazy video email,
which also had our
application and all those screenshots and all that.
Yeah.
He forwarded that to the casting director at the time, who then had to take it seriously because it was coming from higher up on the chain.
Yeah.
So then we got the call. They said, all right, we're interested in you guys. And just like that, we were now in the race for the Amazing Race.
Yep. And what happened next?
So what happens next is they fly us out to LA, and we're like the happiest people in these.
Yeah, we like can't believe it. I remember we were sitting in the backyard when we got the news. They're like, we're flying you out to LA. You made it to casting finals. And we're like, holy shit, like we did it, bro. We're going to LA. I remember being in the backyard yelling, and our sister and brother-in-law were upstairs in the apartment, and they like looked out the window because they heard us yell so loud. And then we went to LA, and what happened?
So they sequester you for 5 days for...
Well, this is the old way that it was done back then, but...
Yeah. I don't know how much I can actually share about the process, so I'll just try to keep it like as simple as possible. But basically, for 5 days, you're sequestered in a hotel in LA, and you have rounds of interviews that you're doing with casting, with the executives, and basically it's like a vetting process to see if you can go from a casting contestant to like a final contestant that they are certain you will be a contestant on the race.
Basically, they're looking underneath the hood.
Yeah.
And trying to see what's really going on inside and if you would be a good fit for the show.
Yeah. So to make a long story short, we make it to the very, very, very final cut of interviews. So like I think there was only like, at this point, it started with like 30 teams, and now we're down to like, they're only cutting 2 more teams. So like, what are the chances that we're going to be those 2 teams that are cut? Very low. Make it all the way to the end, and we completely fuck up the last interview, like to the point where afterwards it was like we walked out of the room like sad puppies with our tails between our legs. Like we were just so disappointed with our performance. We just completely botched it. It was just a lot of nerves. I don't think we were ready for it.
Yeah.
And it was like so bad that the casting director at the time like actually yelled at us because he was like, what the hell did you guys just do? We were like, we're sorry. So it was basically, to make a long story short, we went through this whole thing, left no stone unturned, and then we were the last team to be cut on that final day of casting finals. And we ended up not being on that season of The Amazing Race, and we had to watch every episode of that season, seeing all the intros of all the teams on there, knowing that we were not one of them, and we were this close to actually watching ourselves on this show and going on the adventure of a lifetime. So after that, I think we didn't even think about applying again. We were so devastated and crushed by that, especially like once the show actually aired on TV. It was like, it was hard to even watch because we were so disappointed. But then eventually, I think like 6 months passed, and we like
It's like
started
a breakup.
Yeah, exactly. You start to heal from it. You start to heal a little bit, and that leads us to lesson 2.
Yeah. Lesson 2 that we've learned along our journey is that rejections aren't failures. They're feedback. Let's dive into that, Mike.
Yeah, so there's really 2 mindsets that we could have had at that point. It could have been like, all right, we literally tried our best. We did everything we could, and it just wasn't meant for us. It's like, it's not in the cards for us to be on The Amazing Race. It is what it is. We literally did our best. Nothing else we can do. That was mindset 1. Mindset 2 was, okay, they obviously liked us enough for us to go all the way to casting finals. There must be something we did right. Yeah. Let's not give up on this dream. Let's ask ourselves, what did we do wrong, and what could we do better next time to make sure we do get on the next time?
Yeah.
And when we asked ourselves that question and reflected on the failure to turn it into something that we can actually learn from, that's when we realized, okay, I kind of understand, other than being super nervous, like what the issue was here. What was the issue, Nick?
What we learned when we actually took a step back and kind of looked at what happened was that we really didn't fully understand what the show was about, right? We thought it was about, okay, like we're 2 brothers, we just want to have a really great time and travel around the world and all that. But really what we realized was, okay, this is actually not a show about like accomplishing challenges. It's really a relationship show. It's about me and you as brothers coming into the show, and how are we going to transform by being on the show. That's when we went to First Principles. That's what we realized about this casting process was, okay, they want to know about us, not about like what we'll do on the, like how excited we are to be on the race or why we should be on the race. It was like, tell me about you guys, your relationship. And that's when we really dove down into, okay, our story. Who are we? What is this all about? And
yeah, at the time that we had just quit our jobs, we didn't really have a very clear story. I think other than like what you said, we're just 2 brothers, grew up watching the show. We think we're going to win it all because we're super cocky at the time. We're super young and cocky. And that was like our story. And we like had a lot of energy, like youthful energy.
Yeah. And we had the Brooklyn.
And whatever. But I think when you look at other reality television shows, a big part of someone's identity and story is their occupation. And so like when you can simply say, I'm a firefighter, I'm a plumber, I'm a construction worker, I work in corporate America, I'm an accountant, like very snappy job titles that someone across the country could immediately like say, oh, okay, I understand that. We didn't have that. We just called ourselves entrepreneurs because at the time we were failing entrepreneurs, jumping from one project to the next, to the next, to the next. So when we were in that final interview, we're talking about, yeah, we run this Instagram page and we also have a social media agency. We're just entrepreneurs, scrappy entrepreneurs. And it's like, nobody can resonate with that. It's not a clear enough story. So the timing wasn't right for us is what we realized. And so we ended up, that actually helped us on a personal level too, because we realized on a personal level, focus is power, and we need to kind of narrow down what it is that we're going to go all
we
in
basically need to get our shit together.
Exactly. And so what we ended up doing was going all in on our nonprofit. And now, I mean, years later, we just kept doubling down. We are the nonprofit founders. We are the guys who created Blankets of Hope, the founders of Blankets of Hope, this educational nonprofit that is now
impacted 400,000 lives and counting.
So that became our concise occupation story, which worked out well for both casting and for us. But not right away. Did not work out right away. What happened, Nick? We got the story down. We were more confident this time around. The timing felt better.
Yeah, so some years have passed now. We've got this successful business going, and it's picking up traction, and we're feeling like, okay, we have some more life experience under us. And we get another notification on social media that The Amazing Race is casting again.
And this is like 3 years after our first application process.
So, like usually happens in our business partnership, I come to Mike and I'm like, yo, Mike, they're casting again. I think we should make a video. And Mike is a little hesitant because he's still hurting from the last one. But I'm like, yeah, let's just do it. Come on, what do we have to lose? And eventually I convince Mike and we make another video and we send it in. And then we hear nothing back. And then another season of The Amazing Race goes on. We're not on it. And then once again, we get another notification from The Amazing Race say they're casting again. And
wait, actually, real quick. So as I was going through my old files in my computer, as we were getting these like not even rejections, but like basically radio silence, AKA rejections, you sent another video back to that same guy that you sent the first one to. And I want to play it for everybody.
Wait, I did?
Yeah, I'm going to play it.
I don't even think he works there.
Yeah, I don't even think he was working there at the time. But you were very, very, very sad in this video.
Peter, what's going on, Paisan? I figured I'd reach out to you one last time. I know the race date is coming up. Mike and I are still a little bummed about the decision. And honestly, I feel like you guys are missing out on the opportunity of a lifetime with Mike and I. We have something truly special to offer. And I hope this video makes it to you and you guys can reconsider. Send you lots of love, brother. Peace.
Okay. Yeah, so you were really sad.
Yeah, I mean, this, like we said at the beginning of this video, this has been our dream. And like, we really, really wanted this, right? And we didn't, at least for me, I didn't want to give up. I did, and I think just playing sports my whole life, I always had that mentality that like you never give up until the whistle blows. And I felt like the whistle didn't blow yet, right? Because they were still casting more seasons.
Yeah.
So every time they said they were casting another season, the game went into overtime and we had to keep playing.
Yeah.
And so back to the story of like, okay, we make another video. It basically goes radio silent. We try reaching out to all these people. Nobody wants to hear us anymore. Basically, then we do it again, nothing. And we do it a third time and nothing. And now we're pretty defeated.
Yeah. At what year are we in right now?
We're now 6 years in from that original video we sent out, and we made it to finals casting in LA. Yeah. So now we're 6 years past that original date. And now what?
And now we're at rock bottom at this point. And casting opens up one more time. Nick comes to me, his same old spiel. My name, I just called myself Nick. Mike, they opened up casting again. I think we should do it. And I looked at him like, bro, can we just fucking give up already? Like, they obviously don't want us. If they wanted us, they would at least like answer us. And I like had this whole pity party. And of course, Nick did his typical thing where he's like, come on, let's just do one more. Just one more. And I think even if we failed at this one, he would still keep saying one more, because that's just the way he is. But yeah, we created one more video. All right, that concludes our fourth and hopefully final audition video for The Amazing Race.
Yeah, we'll look forward to seeing you in LA. Love you. See you soon.
Peace.
And in my opinion, this was our best video yet, because over the years, we realized and we came to terms with the fact that this is a reality TV show. So what they want is reality. And in the last video, in this video that we submitted, it was the realest versions of Nick and Mike. We were raw, uncut. This is who we are. Like, accept us or leave us. Like, this is it. This is who we are.
Yeah. And I think this brings us to lesson number 3, which we have repeated so many times throughout this journey. And it's that it doesn't matter how many no's you get. All it takes is one yes. We sent in this video. It was like the last straw. We were right about to quit. And then, boom, one final video. For some reason, it fell into the right hands.
Well, no, not for some reason, because we emailed it to the creator.
We left no stone unturned yet again. But for some reason, like, we've done that every other time too. But for some reason, it was like something clicked. And I think it's because of what you said. It was like the most authentic version of us. And then we did.
Or it was that they were literally just sick of
the persistence.
Us sending in these videos and contacting them, that they were just like, please just give these guys one more chance and see if they can make it on this show.
Yeah. And a little side lesson here is something that I've noticed in my life, and then from like studying other people who have done amazing things, like every underdog story, is the moment you're about to quit, like that moment right before like you're about to just throw in the towel, if you just persist that one more step, you end up getting rewarded by the universe. It's like you get that final test, and the moment before you quit is right before the breakthrough.
All right, well, let's see if that's true. So we send in this video, we get positive reaction, and we get the news, hey, we want to bring you back to LA for finals again.
6 years later.
6 years later, we want you back. Come to LA. We really like the package you guys have here, and we think that you have a good shot. Yeah. So now Mike and I are super pumped again. We got we got a glimmer of hope. We're going to Hollywood, baby. We got our chance here. And we go, and what happens, Mike?
What happens is we absolutely crush every single interview that we have. Like, we're on fire. We've, at this point, like, we're already in the media business for the last few years. We're already super comfortable on camera. We got the clear story. We're super confident, but also not overconfident. Like, we're just being ourselves, and everyone is like, we're lighting up the room. Literally, everyone feels like a magnet to this energy that we brought. It was just like, this is it. This is the one. Like, we fucked it up the first time, but we're going to knock this one out of the park. And that's exactly what we did. We literally knocked it out of the park.
And then
we still got to know.
Yeah, that one was way more painful than the first no from the LA casting, because Mike and I, we had our expectations really high. Like, we were like looking at book bags that we were going to wear on the race. Like, we were planning the sneakers that we were going to wear. Like, we were on the race in our head.
Even the executives and the people there, the casting people's reactions to us were like giving us this feedback. Like, no, you guys are crushing it. Like, you guys did awesome. So we go home thinking like, all right, we're about to get the phone call. Like, we're a shoe-in. Let's go. We get the phone call, we put it on speaker, and
basically
the phone call starts with, I'm going to rip the Band-Aid right off. You guys didn't make it on this season. We're like, no. Way.
Yeah.
Oh, man, that was devastating.
Yeah, but going back to lesson number 3 here was, it doesn't matter how many no's you get. It only takes one yes. So we got that no, and then the season went off. Once again, it was difficult for us to watch that season, but we watched it, and then we got another notification on social media saying casting was open again. And
just one more.
And just one more. I went to Mike and I said, Mike, I'm telling you, we have it. They told us last year we were so close, we just didn't fit the puzzle piece. Like, this is our year. And we went through the process one more time, and this time we finally got our yes, and our dreams of being on The Amazing Race came true.
This is happening. 7 years, baby, it's happening.
And do you remember that moment when we got the final phone call that said, you guys are going to be on this season of The Amazing Race?
Yeah, we jumped around like the 10-year-olds who were watching the show. Literally, I don't think I stopped smiling for like a week straight when we finally got the news that, like, that's it, like, it's done. And I actually couldn't even believe it. Like, my brain, because we had been through so many no's and rejections and like false hopes, at this point, it was like I was trained to basically not like get my hopes up.
Not set your expectations.
Exactly. So even once we got the official confirmation, I was like, I'm not, until like this thing is like, until we're ready to fucking be at the starting line, I am not getting my hopes up here. But it all worked out and it actually happened.
So to recap here, the 3 lessons that we've learned along our journey, Mike. Lesson number 1, leave no stone unturned. Lesson number 2, rejections aren't failures, they're feedback. And lesson number 3, it doesn't matter how many no's, it only takes 1 yes.
Yeah, and I think I want to add a bonus lesson.
What do you got?
Because it was easy to not take things personal the first time we flew out and like the first time we went through finals, because like it was on us. Like we did really botch that final interview, and if I was them, like I wouldn't have put us on the show either. So it was very easy for us to blame ourselves in that scenario. But when we got all the way to finals that last time and we actually like hit a grand slam, knocked it out of the park, and we still got that no, it was very tempting for my mind, my ego, to take that personally. It was very tempting for me to say, like, what the fuck? Like, we literally crushed it. Like, if you don't want us on the show, then, like, fuck you. That was, like, my mind wanted to go to that place. But thank God we didn't. Thank God we did not take that rejection personally, and we just told ourselves it's a different story, that, like, the timing just was not right, and, like, everything happens for a reason. Because we ended up finding out later when we got, like, casted back for that like second callback for the show that we actually did get
the 7th year.
Exactly. We ended up joking about the brothers who took our place, and we said, like, how could you not put those brothers on? Like, they were 10 times better looking than us. And we ended up making the producers like crack up, because they were like, oh, I like that these guys, they're not only persistent, but they're like being playful about it. They're not being sour about it. And they actually ended up telling us that was a big reason why it was an easy yes this time, because we had that attitude. So the bonus lesson here is don't take the rejections personally either. Like, if you're trying to do something and the market, the outside world, the gatekeepers are telling you no, don't be angry at them. Like, just try to figure out what you can continue to do better. Stay with focus on what is in your control. Keep improving on it, and then trust in the timing of it all. Like, it might just be not you, but a timing thing.
And it usually takes longer than we think.
Exactly. So that's my bonus.
So that's Mike's bonus. I would like to add Nick's bonus now. So one thing that you
always got to one-up me.
No, I'm not one-upping you. I'm tying you, bro. After reflecting on why we got on, one thing that I realized was, like, our failures actually became the reason for our success. And what I mean by that is our story when we got on year 7 was, holy shit, these guys have been trying for 7 years, have gotten no after no after no, but they keep coming back. So our actual quote-unquote failures actually ended up being the reason we succeeded. So the lesson really is, it's to not be afraid of failure, to lean into it and realize that the only way to truly achieve anything great is to experience a number of failures along the journey, right? Like, any great movie you've watched follows this hero's journey arc where the hero has to go through these very challenging times and then overcome them to be the hero. That's what it takes. So the lesson is, embrace the failures along the journey, because they make you who you are.
Every failure is just basically making your story richer. So that once you do finally make that breakthrough, you now have such a cool story to tell. And so if you look at every failure in that lens, that it's actually just making my story even better, you're using it as fuel. It's like literally fueling you to just keep going, keep going.
Yep.
And that's what's happening right now for us. If we have a podcast episode that flops because we're starting this brand new journey and we want to have this new breakthrough of being world-class podcasters, every flopped episode is just adding to the failure. And who knows how many episodes it'll take before we actually get to where we want to be, but like, that'll be a cool fucking story to tell once we finally do make it. So you need to believe in the end result and then use the failures as that fuel.
And I want to bring this episode full circle here, which is, like, if you have a dream, if you are watching this episode and you clicked it because you have a dream, know that like it is possible. If you really, really want something bad enough, like how bad we wanted The Amazing Race, no matter how many times people tell you you can't have it, if you believe that you can get it and you put in the work, you can achieve that dream. And please, I hope our story of making our dream come true and getting on The Amazing Race is a little glimmer of hope, a little inspirational spark for you to keep going after your dreams.
Wow. I want to stand up and give you a standing ovation.
Appreciate it, man. But it's all from the heart, man. I really mean it. And I think that if all of us were going after what we really wanted in this life, we'd live in such a better world with happier people. Because as our philosophy is, memento mori, we get one fucking life. And why not go after the things we really want? Why not live the life that we really want?
Yeah, point to the brick wall. I'll run through it right now. But to bring this home, we are recording this on the morning of March 5th, 2025. And tonight, I don't know when you're watching it, but tonight for us will be the premiere of our season of The Amazing Race. So tonight we will
just got the chills.
We will get to watch ourselves on that intro, watch ourselves in that first episode, and see this dream that we've been chasing for 7 fucking years come true. And yeah, I just really hope that's an inspiration for everyone that's watching or listening, because that's why we made this video. It's to hopefully inspire you, whoever's watching or listening, to go after your dreams. And honestly, also tune in. If you're watching this and the season isn't over, or even if it is, it'll be on CBS every Wednesday starting March 5th, 2025
at 9:30 p.m. Eastern.
And then you can catch the episodes if you missed them on Paramount Plus streaming. And also one last thing. If you do tune in and watch the show, you could come hang out with us for recap episodes of every single episode. So that'll be on our YouTube channel. If you're listening to this on Spotify, check it out. Theo Bros YouTube channel. We're going to have some fun, give you the behind the scenes, give you the stuff that you can't really see on TV.
Yeah, because it's there's a lot of content that gets filmed and so much of it gets cut out. So we'll fill you in. We'll fill you in and give you our take, and it's going to be fun.
All right, let's stop running on here and end this episode.
All right, well, to end it, dream big, go after it. Love you. Peace.
Bye-bye now.